Hey everyone, welcome back to Pepcoding. So in this video, we are going to solve a new question, which is design hit counter from stacks. So we have to design a hit counter which counts the number of hits received in the past 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that is the past 300 seconds, right? So your system should accept a timestamp parameter in seconds granularity, and you may assume that calls are being made to the system in chronological order. That is, timestamp is monotonically increasing. Several hits may arrive roughly at the same time. So we have to implement the hit counter class, which is given here, class hit counter. And so hit counter initializes the object of the hit counter system. Void hit, a function given here, records a hit that happened at the timestamp in seconds. Several hits may happen at the same timestamp. Int get hits. So we are given the function here, which returns the number of hits in the past 5 minutes from timestamp, that is past 300 seconds, right? So what we have to do, so let's take this test case and explain what is happening here. So we are given this test case. What we are having is, we are having a timeline. This is the timeline. Okay. So, and it has the range from 1 till 2 into 10 raised to power 9. This is 2. So this is in seconds, from 1 second till 2 into 10 raised to power 9, right? So only two events can occur in this timeline. The first is hit, the second is get hit, right? So like for this example, we are given the hit in the 1 second only. So hit, then for second, like for 2 second, we are given one more hit. So 2 is here, event occurred, hit. So for 3 is here, event occurred, hit. Now the next event occurred, get hits, for 4th second. 4 is here, get hits occurred. Okay, so what does this function do? Get hits, it returns the number of count which hits occurred, how many, count the number of hits in the past 5 minutes. So 5 minutes would be equals to 5 into 60, which would be 300 seconds. So it would return the value of the number of hits which occurred in the past 300 seconds, right? So we would have, if we want to return the get hits at 4th second, including 4, what we would have, the duration would be, we'll check from the duration of the past 300 seconds would be 4 minus 300 plus 1, including 4. So it would give a negative value. It is too much negative. So our range is from 1. So we'll check in the range from 1 till 4, right? So how many hits occurred from 1 till 4? Would have 1, 2, 3. So 3 hits occurred. It would return the value 3, right? This get hits function doesn't include itself in the number of hits in the count. So this get hits function only return the number of counts of hits which happened during the past 300 seconds, right? It doesn't include itself in the count of number of hits. So next, coming to the next one, we have a hit for 300th second. So 300 is somewhere here, and we have a event occurred hit. So 300, we have a hit. Next, get hits 300. So for a particular timestamp, we can have as many number of hits and as many get hits. Like, it cannot be infinite. We are allowed to give the events for at max 300 times. Like, a hit can occur for a particular timestamp for 300 times, not more than that. So yeah, get hits also occurred. So both the events can occur at the same timestamp also. There is no constraint for this. So we have a hit and we have a get hits, right? So if the get hits came, we have to return a value for the number of counts for the past 300 seconds. Let's calculate the duration for which we have to give the count. So we would have for 300 minus 300 plus 1, for including 300 also. So it would be 1. So from 1 to 300, how many number of hits? 1, 2, 3, and this 4, right? So this would give a value of 4. We would have 4 as an answer, right? Next event occurred, get hits at 301. 301 is here, and we have get hits, right? So let's calculate the time range again. So it would be 301 minus 300 plus 1. It would give 2, right? So for 2, the time range would be from 2 till 301, right? Now we have to exclude the 1, and we have to now check from 2 till 301 that how many hits occurred. So we have 1 hit, 2 hit, and then 3 hit. We won't include the get hits event, so 3 would be the answer here. This would return the value 3. So this was the proper question, like how we were doing this. So let's see how we can do this. This was the thing. What is the question? What are we doing? Now let's see how we can do this. So let's say we have a timeline and hits occurred. I'm giving the value for the hits. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 300, right? So hit occurred here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, and here also. We'll make a data structure here. We'll add all the values in which the hit event occurred. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 300, right? So now we have to here get hits event occurred. So we have to return a value. So the duration would be 300 minus 300 plus 1. It would be 1 only, from 1 till 300, right? So all these would be our answer, right? Okay. So let's say 301 occurred, and now it is asking for get hits. So for 301 minus 300 plus 1, it would give 2, right? So we'll make a window from which we have to return the answers. for get hits. So from 2 till 300. This window will return all the values in which you have to give the answer, right? So what we will do, from 2 till 300, we would return the answer. Next, 302 occurred, right? And it asks for the get hits. So for 302 minus 300 plus 1, it would be from 3, right? Let's make it clear. From 3 till 300. So we'll exclude 2 also now, and the window is shifted from 3 till 300. So it would be these values, the count, right? So now why are we taking these values? Like hits and get hits are gradually increasing values. They are never decreasing. They're only put in a point, or they are increasing. They are never decreasing. They are never going backward. They're only increasing or stopped at a particular point. So if there is never going back, then why are we keeping these values? We should remember only these values of the answer. This is taking the extra space. Let's remove them. Remove, right? So we would have this as the answer of the window only. Remove them and add from here, remove from here. So what are we doing? Let's see once again. We are using a DQ in which both the things are happening, like we are adding from last and we are removing those events which are not required now, right? So let's suppose we are given 2, 5, 7, 200, 300, 500, 600, right? So we are given this, and hits are occurring. Hit here, hit here, hit, hit, hit. Let's suppose get hits occurred here. Hit, hit, hit occurred here. Hit occurred here also. So we would have 2, 5, 7, 200, 300, right? So for finding the duration, what will we have? For get hits at 300, would have 300 minus 300 plus 1. It would be 1 only, from 1 till 300. So it will return all these values, right? Now let's suppose we are going for 500 get hits. Now for 500, 500 minus 300 plus 1, it would return from 201 till 500, right? So it would make a window and would return 300 only one event, and this would get removed from the array DQ, because the get hits function is going on gradually increasing thing only. It is never decreasing, it is never going backwards. So what we will do, by keeping these values in our DQ, let's remove them, because there is no option, there's no choice. Why are we putting these in our extra space? So let's remove them, keep it here. Now hits function occurred here also, and we want the value for get hits for 600. So 500 came here. So for 600 we would have 600 minus 300 plus 1, give from 301 till 600. We would receive only the 500 only now, because 300 is also out of range. Remove this one also. So removing is going on from here, adding is going on from here. That's why we are using data structure DQ. Next, how we can optimize this? What we can do is, if we are given a timestamp, like for 1, and it is occurring for hit, let's say for 100 times, like for multiple times, like there's a constraint that infinite time it cannot happen. Let's say for it can only happen at max 300 times, right? So we would have a DQ, of course, but what we'll do, we can't write for 1 1 1 1 1 for multiple times, like for 100 times, right? If it occurred from one more time, it became 101 time, then 1 1 1. We can't use these so much space for DQ. What we'll do is, we'll make a pair class of the event occurred, like it occurred where this timestamp, right? 1 it occurred, and the count for how many times it occurred. So 100 times. If one more time the hit occurred, we'll increase the value from here only, right? So we would have 101. Let's say it's occurring for like 200 times. So we'll increase it from here only, 200, right? So this is the most optimized approach by which we are making a pair class, and we are counting the number of hits which are occurring, so that our space would be optimized and it would take less space. So let's code this and see how we can do this. Okay, so we are given the class hit counter. First, let's make for the private, make a variable constant int k equals to 300 for past 5 minutes, like for 300 seconds. Next, we'll make a count which will be stored, that how many times the hit event is occurring. Next, we'll make a DQ of pair class of int comma int type, and give it a name DQ, right? Then for this, let's initialize the hit counter. Hit counter count from 0. Now, first, let's do for the get hits function, which returns the number of hits in the past 5 minutes. So timestamp is given as a parameter. What we'll do, we'll check the condition while our DQ is not empty. And our DQ dot front dot first is less than equals to timestamp minus k. That is timestamp minus 300, right? If this is the case, what we'll do, we'll decrease the count minus equals to dq dot front dot second. Okay. Next, we'll pop the values which are not required. dq dot pop front. And at last, what we have to return? We have to return the count. Right? Done. Next, for the hit function, in which we have to record a hit, first let's call the get hits function, passing the timestamp. If our DQ is empty, and our DQ dot back dot force equals to timestamp, then we'll increase the DQ dot back dot second, else we'll DQ dot emplace back dot second. Okay. And we'll increase the count. Let's run this code and see if it's correct or not. Okay. So we have some errors in line 28 here. Something wrong happened. So, okay, this is our first mistake for CONST. There's no dot. Then in the hits function, okay, here is some mistake. Okay, yeah, for else, we'll pass the parameter dq dot emplace back timestamp comma 1. Pass the parameters, right? Then let's run the code. I think it's correct now. Okay. Counter function dq dot empty dq dot front. Okay. Okay, something is wrong with line number 28. Okay. So dq dot front, the parenthesis. Now let's check. Okay, accepted. Let's submit this code. Correct answer. So I hope I was clear with the concept, and thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much.